Welcome back to Booze, Bros, and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars. And we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
And I'm Nick.
All right. And so first up, of course, doing these virtual podcasts, we're going to be talking about what we're going to be drinking here today. So I have a beer from Equilibrium, which is their cookies and cream pop. I'm actually really excited to try this. I actually saw excuse me, that they posted a picture that like maybe two and a half months ago or 3 months ago. Saw it and I was like, holy shit, I need to try that beer because I tried one that they did that was like, I drank it here on the podcast. It was like a banana with like macadamia nut and like vanilla one. Do you remember that one?
Sounds kind of familiar, yeah. I mean, I know we've all had some stuff from Equilibrium. It's usually pretty good.
Yeah, but like it like the label kind of looked like that banana brand label, like what is it called, Chiquita or whatever.
Oh, Chiquita.
Yeah.
Chiquita banana.
Yeah, so it kind of looked like that. So I was like, okay, cool. But ever since I tried that one beer, I was like, holy shit, I want to try more stuff from Equilibrium. But saw that looks phenomenal. And then of course, like earlier today, while I'm getting excited to actually and hyped up to drink that, they posted another one that looked freaking phenomenal. And I'm like, shit, I really hope that brand
take my money.
I know. I really hope that freaking Brandon ends up getting it. Which I might have to go there tomorrow or Thursday because I have Mark's beer from Corporate Ladder.
Oh,
he had me pick up a bunch of stuff from May 4th. So I have to take a trip over there. So hopefully they have some good shit that I can buy.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah. What do you got today, Nick?
Got a little, just in case I need it, a little chicken cock, standby. But other than that, just planning out a relatively light night with the wife being on her late night schedule and dealing with the kids and stuff. So,
Gotcha.
Got a little Magnanimous Brewing. This is an Imperial Stout. This particular one, they call it the Ostinato, but it's an Imperial Stout with cinnamon and vanilla beans added. And it's so far, it's pretty tasty.
It sounds delicious.
Okay, we got a few 4-packs from them, couple big bottles, couple standalone cans, and it was supposed to be buying more that trip, but things happened, so Magnanimous it was.
Yeah. So you want to talk about what happened that trip? You personal experience?
Yeah. So we were heading up to Tampa actually to buy something for a little business venture. Successfully picked up that cargo and decided that we wanted to go get lunch in the area. So we checked out a new lunch joint that we've been wanting to try up there, which was delicious. And then we headed off to the area of Magnanimous and our primary stop, which was Garage East Meadery. Well, we made it to right out front of Garage East Meadery as some asshole, and I hate to admit it was a Bronco, comes flying out of nowhere after I put my turn signal on, getting ready to get over the left lane. And he comes flying up my ass, gets over to the left lane, then just before he even touches brakes, is up the curb. All of a sudden, he's screeching tires on the brakes. We're right out front of Magnanimous, and the next thing you know, he is in the wall of Magnanimous with his Bronco. Or not
Magnanimous, or Garage East.
So as we were watching this all happen, thankfully he missed us, and he is now through the wall, not like car into the taproom, but bumper blew a hole through the wall, through kegs everywhere, all over the floor. And just, I mean, you imagine the front of a Bronco, that whole area just boom, blown open. And we got to watch this asshole do something stupid, not paying attention, and destroy potentially our last chance at going to Garage East before they close in about a month. So that was super awesome. So we calmly parked, took some shitty glares at the asshole, and continued to walk our way down to Magnanimous and get the beer that we also wanted to buy while we were there. But yeah, so for anybody watching, if there's any Garage East people, I'm sorry that happened to you guys. That sucks. Sucks more for you guys than it does for me and my wife, but I will admit I'm glad it didn't hit me, because the way he was moving, that would have hurt like a son of a bitch. And your building fought back valiantly. So good for the building. Sucks for him, the poor Bronco also. But yeah, it was brutal. And thankfully they shared some pictures, so I'm sure Eric can do his little clippy thing. and
Yep.
put a couple pictures up of the hole blown in the wall on the Bronco with the front end there. So unfortunately, there was no pictures of said driver looking all tool baggy, but it is what it is. Done.
Tool
It's
bag.
over.
Yeah, tool bags are
It
gonna be
just
tool bags,
had
right?
that whole look about him. I don't know.
Did it look like a Guido?
I don't know. He looks like the kind of guy that hangs out at Ybor City at night thinking he's hot shit. Gives you a pretty good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of sucks, and it's unfortunate
Yeah.
that you guys couldn't actually make it there because, like, to your point, they're closing in like a month, a little over
Yeah.
a month. I think like
We're
5
gonna
weeks.
try. I think once we get back from
Yeah.
Jersey next weekend, we gotta try and plan something up to run up there for one of the last Sundays or something,
Yeah.
and try and get up there and get some more mead. Which I mean, I got a nice little haul from Brandon at number 3, a little bit of private stock stuff. Picked up
Mhm.
7 bottles from him. So that's a start. But I'd like to get some fresh from the source, some more modern stuff if I could.
Oh hell yeah! And their stuff is the couple of stuff that I've actually tried thanks to Brandon at number
Yeah.
3. Garages is freaking phenomenal. They have
Oh yeah,
delicious
everything
meats.
I've tried from them, man, is good. And if we can go there and actually hit the bar and do a flight or two, it's so good. Oh, it's so
It'll
good.
probably be more like 3 or 4 flights just to try
Oh
everything
yeah, but
before they close.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of crappy. I really hope if anybody from Gary G's is actually watching this, hopefully they are somehow able to continue Gary G's at a different location, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I really hope so. More wishful thinking because there's, and not that I'm against this, there's a ton of breweries in the state of Florida, a lot of really good breweries. There's not enough meaderies.
yeah.
And they were one of the top ones.
I mean, and for us, they were the closest one, I think.
Yeah.
Can't think of any within 2 hours. That's the closest one I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's actually, yeah, because even what is that one that is in St. Cloud? We've had their stuff at number 3 before, but even they're like 3 hours away in Orlando.
Yeah.
Shit, what is it called?
I don't know. All I'm hearing is that it leaves us room for a meat haul someday. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That is
One
very
step
true.
at a time. One step at a time.
It is one step at a time. But onto I guess just random car news. A couple of these things are more older stuff that we could have talked about last week, but we decided to take a week off. I did like a photography gig and I had to edit like a shit ton of pictures, which luckily I found the method to actually be able to edit pictures a lot faster.
That's good.
Hell yeah. I was surprised because I was playing around with, because I use Adobe Lightroom Classic, and I was just like, man, there's got to be a quicker way for me to edit pictures. And I found something, because usually it's just adding like my presets that I have like for like I have a generic one that I use that helps with like pretty much 90% of my pictures. And I was like, and I found a way to mass edit everything. And I was like, oh shit, now I have to just resize, recrop, and that's it. I'm done. Just move on to the next picture.
Nice.
So that helps me out freaking significantly. So, but yeah, that kind of happened. And then I think Nick, you had a couple things going on. So we took a break last week.
Life happened.
Yeah, life happened. But yeah, we just decided to take last week off. It was much needed. Just time off and not having to worry about just kind of reporting stuff here on the podcast. But back to it. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to bring up is silly season is how it's nicknamed with Formula One. Apparently it's already been announced that Adrian Newey is actually going to be leaving Red Bull. So he is, as of after this past weekend, which is the Miami GP, or GP stands for Grand Prix. He's, as far as I'm aware, he's no longer going to be working with the Formula One team after this past weekend. Moving forward, he's going to be working on a, don't quote me on this, I think it's called the RB17, which is actually a car that Red Bull is actually working with. There's not a lot of details around the car as of yet. I don't think, really didn't look that up ahead of time. I should have, but the more important thing is that Adrian Newey is actually leaving Red Bull. So what does that mean for Red Bull? Tough. considering that the fact that their primary designer is that the designer of their car that has won every single championship, or every single championship that Red Bull has won, he has designed that car. So who knows what that means for Red Bull's future.
Yeah, so
But
you got to wonder: will they go stagnant? Will the cars not update and change while
who
other people start
knows?
to pass them? It'd be interesting.
It's well funny that you're saying that, which I'm was just gonna say that in just a brief moment. There's a couple rumors of where Adrian Newey could be going to. So first off, he could either one be retiring, which would be good for him. I mean, like he's busted his ass with Red Bull, creating these crazy, stupid, fast, aerodynamically, um, just crazy built vehicles. But there's rumors of him potentially going to one Mercedes, which I don't think that's going to be the case. Two, Aston Martin, which has already been addressed by Adrian Newey. He's like, I will not be going to Aston Martin. Three, which is a possibility, which is Williams. And then the last one is actually Ferrari. So Adrian Newey has actually said before in the past, which I want to say the past was either one earlier this year or two last year, that there's two things that he regrets. One of them is not building a championship race car or Formula One car for Lewis Hamilton. Two is not working with Ferrari. So
Mhm.
there are rumors that pretty much everything is a done deal with Ferrari, aside from Adrian Newey signing the contract. If Adrian Newey
Interesting.
does sign the contract with Ferrari, he gets to one, build Lewis Hamilton a championship winning car, and two, he gets to work with Ferrari. So he'll be able to do both.
It's going to be interesting to see how that pans
Yeah.
out for somebody that's not like an avid watcher or rarely watches F1. Stuff like this in any racing sport can make a big difference for a
Yeah.
team. When you're talking about the best, it's no different than the football fan at one team suddenly getting way better players and a
Yeah.
championship winning head coach. Things can change so quickly from just one person.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds and what happens to Red Bull and whoever gets Newey.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. It's going to be very, very interesting. Um, and actually, to your point in regards to what could happen with Red Bull, I think this weekend was actually a glimpse of what could potentially be happening, which is that for those of you who did watch the Miami Grand Prix this past weekend, Max Verstappen did not win the race. Somebody that I did not think would actually ever win. Let me rephrase that. The person who won was not a person that I would think would win. Um, which was Lando Norris, which kudos to him. I'm super stoked for him. He is probably by far one of my favorite personalities in Formula One. I mean, like he's like a younger dude, like in his mid-20s, and he has such like a vibrant personality. Like the dude's funny as hell. He's hilarious. He's awesome. And actually, I posted a reel of him singing it's Friday then, and then like just him saying like singing about the weekend. It's funny as hell. He's a cool dude. So he was finally able to win his first Grand Prix ever, and he's been racing with Formula One for like 5 years. So it's his first podium.
Yeah, that's exciting for
So
him.
yeah, so good for him, especially after I think 2 weeks ago he got injured. I believe it was in Portugal or in Spain, somewhere along there, and he pretty much just busted his nose. He had like a huge gash and had to get stitched up, I think. And so, anyways, he came back and stronger than ever apparently, and just literally dominated the Miami Grand Prix and actually won his first
Nice.
Grand Prix. So exciting for him to actually win his first GP. And then one thing we did want to talk about, oh, I wanted to talk about, even though it is older news, and I actually did see this earlier today, I think it was, that last week there was this. I'm just gonna be upfront and say it. Um, some stupid ass sim racing driver, which no offense to all sim racing drivers. We've talked about sim racers before in the past on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Some are good, some not so much.
This one is one of the not so much ones. So he was like, I drive sims professionally. Cueing the SpongeBob mocking video here. But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, like I drive sims, so I know how to drive cars. Well, yeah, no, he doesn't know how to drive cars worth shit, because he literally totaled a one of one McLaren Senna. Now granted, every McLaren Senna that was built is a one of one, so I mean, yeah, it is a pretty special car, even though they've made X number of McLaren Sennas. But how do you total a $2 or $3 million hypercar by acting like a dumbass? I mean, we've seen it before,
I
obviously, in the
mean,
past.
well, this is what happens too, right? There's no consequences in a video game when you do these things, pro or not,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, all of a sudden you get into a car with no nannies, not a bunch of assistance technologies in it, because it's a freaking street legal race car,
Yep.
and these guys can't handle. I mean, some of these guys, I'd be shocked if they could even handle the car if it didn't have that much power. But clearly,
Mm-hmm.
this guy couldn't handle the power, the braking, just anything.
Yeah.
I mean, he had, from the looks of it, and again, wasn't in the cockpit. I can't say this, but it looks like he had plenty of time to correct and not go straight into a building. Like, I don't know. I think he just took showboating, got a big ego, and thought he could save it. And rather than that, he just dumped into a wall.
Yeah,
So,
that I feel like that actually is the case, which I feel like the one thing that a lot of, even though you're a pro sim racer,
mhm,
the one thing that you need to factor in is when you're driving a sim, a lot of sim drivers that drive from home, or they have like a home rig set up,
yeah,
you don't feel G forces in that thing, bro. I'm sorry.
nah,
But when it comes to people that have driven cars for pretty much their whole lives, like how me and Nick have, um, you can sense that the car is going to do something before it does it, right?
yeah,
So like if you are launching hard from like first gear and you're like, running, against somebody, you can feel the rear end kind of do something, and you're like, I need to let off, and you'll let off, and you're gonna save it. Versus in a sim, you're not gonna feel that, so you're gonna
right.
spin no matter what, because you're not gonna feel that G force or that reaction within the car. So I feel like that's kind of the case, but
I
you know,
truly think it was a matter of naiveness and
yeah, pretty much.
ego. Those two things got the better. I mean, like okay, I take it. I do want to talk a lot of shit on this guy, but at the same time, like I also feel bad because it's a dream car, first of all, so I feel bad for the car. But I feel a little bad for the guy, as much as a dummy as he is. I mean, that was what I think they said it was 1.5 million he just spent for that thing, and
1.5 2 mil.
that's it. Now, I love the fact that just like right after Hurricane Ian, Tavares is already like scoping it out. Like, should I buy this? Do you think
Yeah,
I can rebuild this?
that
and I don't know. As much as I think that'd be awesome, I think for all the struggles he's run into the McLaren P1, that the Senna will just have so much more difficulty getting parts for at this point.
yeah,
But then again, it's an actively produced vehicle, kind of like it's still like a
yeah,
newer thing. So maybe not, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Something's going to happen to it. Somebody's going to pick that thing up. They're not going to let that chassis go to scrap. But it'll be interesting to see what the rest of its life does look like if it gets more life.
yeah. So, and it's actually really funny that you're saying Tavares, because Tavares is actually the guy who I saw that was talking about that McLaren Senna today.
Okay, yeah, I've seen the videos prior to, but I saw Tavares' today. I think one of you guys sent it to me.
Yeah, it could have been Mike. I don't know. But yeah, it's really funny to actually see that he was talking about it. And he's like, yeah, it's probably going to sell for $1 million. And I don't have that. But if one of you do, go ahead and just buy it. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, shit. Okay. With that being said, like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can have a McLaren Center project.
yeah. We might need an OnlyFans at that point.
OnlyFans, we're gonna need sponsorships. Ford, what's up? We've got somebody working for Ford in either one of
Right.
these directions. We also have somebody that works for an Anheuser Busch. We're looking for a sponsor.
Yeah, can we put some AB or Anheuser-Busch InBev decals and Ford decals on the McLaren. Is
I
that okay? Is
mean,
that an
I
okay
feel
thing?
like I feel like McLaren Senna with a American flag livery with Ford and Anheuser-Busch labeling. Actually, I don't know about the Ford.
Maybe some bald
Anheuser-Busch.
eagles.
Bald Eagles
Yeah, we can call it the
all over it.
McLaren Senna GT, just because the Ford aspect. I don't know.
Yeah. Or Ford, if you want to, give us a Ford GTD and we can still do that livery. What's up, bro? What's the
Yeah.
CEO of Ford's name? Steve something.
Um,
His first name is Steve, right? I think I got that, at least that part right.
wow, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden, mostly because a lot of us don't really actually like the direction he's taking things. But Foley, something Foley,
Oh, Jim
Jim
Farley.
Foley,
Jim
Farley.
Farley.
Yeah,
Okay, I got Steve wrong.
yeah,
Obviously, way, way, way wrong.
yeah. Some of his general direction beliefs don't really ring too true with most of us actually in the industry, so we're not biggest fans in the world. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's forgettable.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, no, it's that poor McLaren Senna, man. It's
Yeah, that does suck.
yeah. But anywho, that's pretty much all the news updates that we had that we were just gonna talk about. Aside from that, that's pretty much it for any news
I know that's
updates.
sadly about the gist. Yeah, it wasn't a crazy exciting week. I mean, obviously we have your extra video out there for your little vlogging and stuff of your trip from Freedom Factory to Sebring and all that,
Yeah.
which is definitely a good watch for anybody. And I'm sure Eric will link it in the description here as well.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's just been kind of one of those weeks, man. We haven't had any good. I mean,
Mhm.
you had a good gathering, but we haven't had any really good cars and coffees that we've gotten a chance to make it to. No crazy news coming out of IMSA or any of those places. I mean, right now everything in the news is just F1 drama and Adrian Newey shit. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's hard to get excited about too much else going on right now without being
Oh
able to
yeah.
actually go to any races or any events.
Oh, that's true. I mean, like, I guess the only other exciting thing is that we have Formula D Road Atlanta coming up this next weekend, which is going to be exciting because Von Gittin is actually going to be driving that event.
Oh,
Adam
nice.
LZ is going to be driving that event. Surprising. That was kind of like a last minute add on. It should be exciting because for some reason, Von Gittin, actually not for some reason, Von Gittin is a beast of a driver. Um, but Von Gittin does amazing in Road Atlanta. Last year, he drove like half a season and he actually got first place in Road Atlanta. And that's probably by far one of the most trickiest tracks because it's like very weird. It's a very high speed combined with low speed back to high speed. And you're just like, you're having to chuck the car into the corners. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him driving along with obviously Adam LZ is going to be driving there. Like I said, James Dean is back at Road Atlanta again. Connor Shanahan, I'm excited to see him driving there. And then also Manoa, that 14-year-old kid, is going to be really exciting to see him actually there at that track.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty wild to see what that kid can keep doing. For
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. But anyways, there hasn't been a lot of like freaking car stuff
Uh-uh.
that came out, but yeah. I am actually just going to add something that Nick kind of brought up, which is if you guys ever get a chance to do a rally, a car rally, that is, um, do it. Highly recommend it, especially if you have a sports car, performance vehicle. It's a lot of fun. You're not going to regret it. You're going to meet some very, very interesting and cool people,
Mm-hmm.
like people that are actually have a passion for something that you would enjoy as well, which is cars. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. I took my cousin Jonathan. He was in the Miami Concourse vlog. So I invited him to come with me to the rally. He had a blast. He pretty much was speechless the whole time because one, we were obviously doing dumb speeds around. I'm not gonna say public roads. I'm more gonna say back roads in Mexico. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. And fun fact, apparently LS engines, the oil temperature for LSs, they can comfortably sit at right around 280 degrees. I just
Damn.
found that out after the rally. I was freaking out because my shit was hitting like 260, and I'm like, my car's gonna blow up. Nope, it still had another 20 degrees left to go.
Well, there you go.
Oh man, so next rally, full fucking send, dude.
Well, maybe after a clutch too, right? Are we still waiting on one of those?
Yeah, actually, oh my god. So I should talk more about this past weekend. So I actually was able to meet somebody, which is kind of blew my mind that I realized who it was after the fact. But Mike's buddy Greg, the guy that has the X3M.
I thought I saw his car in some of those pictures.
Yeah, no, so his car's not there, or he wasn't there.
Oh, I swore I saw like an X3M. I just assumed it was him.
There was one. There was a black one, but I think Greg's is like gray. But it was this guy that I met. His name is Will, younger dude, and he had a great truck. And I'm like, yo, that looks like Greg's old truck. So we all met up at Jones Loop, and there was a Wawa there. So we all stopped. We got gas. We grabbed something to eat before we headed up to Bradenton Saturday, which is the day before the rally, because the rally was on Sunday. So I
Nice.
see the truck and I'm like, you're like, yo, like that truck looks so familiar. Like, do you know somebody called Greg? And he's like, yeah, he sold me that truck. And I'm like, no shit. And then like I was talking with him, and then I was obviously mentioning something about the clutch, and I was like, yeah, everybody says that I need to go to K9. I was like, do you work there? Because he had a K9 shirt with a logo on it. He's like, I
Yeah.
own it, and I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, you own K9? He's like, yeah. So I started asking him a bunch of questions, and he kind of quoted me off the top of his head, because apparently C5, C6s, and C5, C6s, and C7s are constantly doing clutches at a shop. He says that one of his guys literally will see the Corvette pulling in, and he's like, damn. So he turns around, grabs all the tools already, he puts everything laid out, and then he's like, all right. So he'll crank it out. And apparently, for somebody that doesn't know how to do a Corvette clutch, for me, like it'll probably take me like 8 to 10 hours. This dude, if I drop off the car in the morning, by lunchtime, it's done.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like half the time.
Yeah.
So
Amazing what you can do with a proper set of tools and a lift.
yeah, for real, dude. So yeah, after talking to Greg, I'm sorry, not Greg. After talking to Will,
Yeah.
I for sure am going to be taking my car over to K9. So shout out to Will and to K9 Motorsports. Um, I'm when I'm ready to do a bunch of crazy shit on my Corvette, you guys are gonna be the ones who actually work on it.
I'm kind of surprised he had the F-150 out there and not his batshit crazy CTSV.
Oh, that was there too.
Oh, wasn't that okay?
Yeah, that was there too. That's actually his girlfriend's car. Did you know that?
Oh, is that? I just know he built it. I don't know who drives it traditionally.
Bro.
I think he runs it at the strip. And I know he built it, but
yeah,
that thing's gnarly. Because I know one of the guys that's kind of close to him that's over there a lot. They built my buddy's Mustang, Kurt, and his Mustang is just nasty. Okay. He might have been there today, or at the thing. I think. I feel like I saw him post some pictures up that he was at the rally and everything. But yeah, he's got like a nice like electric blue S550 Mustang with a big ass blower on it, and all built by K9, like true, like legit ground up engine built by K9. And he's making like 1,100 horsepower, I think, or something like that at a top boost. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, does Kurt have a red Porsche?
No.
Okay.
No, he's got his 4Runner and he's got his GT Mustang.
Oh, okay.
And it's hard to tell. It's either got the weld. He's got a set of welds for it, or he runs around on these street tires on like nice bronze wheels.
Oh, gotcha. Because there was a guy that was there that was talking about Will building his car, and he brought his wife's Porsche. So I don't know if it would have been him or not, but
nah, that wouldn't have been him. I think Will's got his hands on a lot of cars in the area.
Dude, yeah,
a lot
it's
of serious
crazy
ones.
Dude, I will tell you one thing. That CTSV sounded so nasty.
Oh, I'm sure.
So when we were leaving Sebring, because all right, so for those of you that haven't watched the vlog yet, go ahead and watch it. The link to the video will be on the description, and I'm also going to add it to the end of the video. You can just click on the icon, and then you can actually view the video. But it started off at the Freedom Factory, and then we shot across the center of Florida, and we ended up at Sebring International Raceway. So when we left Sebring after the parade laps, um, we went to the mobile gas station that's right at the entrance of 27 and Route 66. I think it's Route 66, I think. So we met up there, and he pulled in with his truck, which I think his girlfriend was driving the truck at that time, and he was driving the CTSV. Dude, he freaking hit the two step on it and the anti lag, bro. That thing, I've never covered my ears for somebody hitting two step
Brutal, huh?
until yesterday or until Sunday. Dude, it was loud. Like, it was stupid loud. Like, holy shit.
I
It
mean,
sounded
listen,
glorious though. I'm not gonna lie. It sounded fucking awesome.
they build some crazy shit. Um,
Yeah.
and I've seen them do some wild stuff with LS based things. So definitely not a bad place to take your car.
Yeah, like I said, he will's more than likely gonna be touching my car once I have, everything lined up and I'm ready to do the clutch and a few other things. Yeah, he's gonna be the mad scientist that's gonna be working on that. Nobody else. I don't want nobody else touching that thing.
From what I've heard, that's a good description, mad scientist.
Dude, that fucking. And you know what's funny too, because like he made the joke, because for whatever reason down here in Lee County, we haven't had a lot of love bugs. Um,
Dude, I mean,
I have not seen any.
I've been seeing them and just buzzing around. And when I went to Tampa, so I went up Center State to Plant City to Tampa back. My car was just my white Explorer was no longer very white in front. I mean,
Well,
bugs
yeah.
everywhere, all over my windshield, everything. I mean, like bad going Center State, which and I've seen them locally, not that bad, but man, as soon as you get out towards Alva and head north, they're just swarms.
Well, yeah, that's actually what I was going to refer to. That anything from the center of Florida and up, I feel like that's where it would actually get bad with the love bugs.
It's real bad.
But here in Lee County, I for one have not seen a lot. Like, and
Yeah,
I live
I've
in
seen
the
them,
outer skirts,
but
and I
not
haven't
like we're
seen many.
used to. Like they're not swarming
Yeah,
like I'm used to seeing them. Yeah,
yeah. That's pretty
it's like
much
one
like,
or two buzzing around or landing on a car. That's it. It's weird this year, which I'm okay
yeah.
with, really.
No, I am too, and it's been like that for like a few years now, which is weird. Actually, now thinking about it, but yeah, cutting through the state of Florida or through the center of Florida, my car is covered.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's in a video or in the vlog. My car is filthy as shit.
yeah. It took 2 washes to get my front end clean.
Oh shit.
That's how bad it was. Well, it's different. You have Mr. Aerodynamics here, and I've just got a brick moving into
Oh,
things.
dude.
I just splatter everything as I'm going through.
Oh, trust me, my front windshield was completely
Well, that's what my wife was
splattered.
complaining about. My windshield was getting disgusting, and I ran out of fluid.
Oh.
and she even looks at me. She's like, "What's that package by the front door?" I'm like, "They're new wiper blades." And you didn't think to put them on before we took a trip? No. So I got a brand new set of wiper blades, front and rear, for this thing. And I didn't put them on, and I meant to, and my windshield was disgusting. I had to go through a car wash ASAP just so I could see because I'm out of fluid. My wipers were shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, not all car guys do the best maintenance for stupid basic things. I am an
Yeah,
example of that.
yeah, I kind of am a prime example of that as well. But
Yeah,
whatever, whatever. It
It's
is what it
bad,
is.
but well, man, we've been getting into a little bit of this. How's your beverage going?
It's good. I actually like it. It's I you taste a lot more. You can taste. So I was kind of hoping to get a little bit more of the cream flavor. I'm actually getting a lot more of the actual, like, I guess the Oreo cookie. I guess you could say
Mm-hmm.
it's not really Oreo cookie, but it cookies and cream.
Yeah.
But I get more like
Copyright reasons, it's not Oreo.
yeah, exactly. So I do get a lot more of like that chocolate cookie flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just reading this right now, it says that it's an imperial stout with crushed cookie, which makes sense. Cake mix, which is kind of surprising. Cocoa nibs, Madagascar vanilla, and lactose. It's good. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's 11%, but it doesn't really feel like it's 11%
That's
beer.
solid.
Yeah. It feels like it's actually a lot lighter than 11%. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel like it's more like of a 9%. Where you can taste the booze, but it's not like there in your face, you know. It's good. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's actually very well balanced, but I kind of want a little bit more of that cream flavoring. If
Yeah.
because like
Well,
I feel like
that's what the lactose was probably for. It's
probably
just not coming through.
yeah, more than likely. What about yours, man? How's your
So this
beverage?
thing is pretty good. So I mean, again, it's the Magnanimous Brewing, which I just realized is actually in collaboration with Perennial Artisan Ales,
Okay.
and they call this their Ostinato or Ostinato, not too sure,
Hmm.
which is an
Wait,
imperial stout.
Prairie
Huh?
Artisan?
Perennial.
Oh, perennial. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what this is a new one for me. I don't, it's not ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's an imperial stout with cinnamon and vanilla beans added, and it's pretty good. I mean, I like my stouts. I like my porters. The base of this is pretty damn tasty. It's 12% alcohol, so it's up there too. But I think the cinnamon and vanilla is like just right. Like I like a good
Mm.
stout, and this one, like, both of those are flavors that can be really overpowering. And I think the balance on these are very, very good. You definitely get the cinnamon. You definitely get the vanilla. Like, it actually almost gives me, because it's a stout. Stouts are usually kind of chocolatey in a sense.
Mm.
I get almost like a Mexican chocolate kind of thing because of the cinnamon.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's no heat really, other than that spice, that cinnamon spice. But there's no like heat like this with a little chili in it, which I'm pretty sure I've had versions of that, which are almost just like this with a little chili to give that Mexican chocolate. But that's
Yeah.
kind of what it reminds me of, is like is a Mexican chocolate without that heat, just because of the cinnamon and stuff in there. So it's pretty solid. And then I haven't stepped into I started drinking any of the chicken cock yet, but I already know that's a good solid. Which one's this? This is the bourbon
Whiskey.
one.
Oh, the bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the other one's technically a whiskey of sorts. This one's the bourbon technically,
that's
but
the burp. What is it? The double barrel oak.
that's the whiskey that we had with Tina and Danny.
Oh, okay.
This is just the normal bourbon bottle that I have,
Oh, okay.
not the fancy one with its own little shot glass that screws on.
Yeah, that's man. I was surprised. Like that chicken cock is actually really good. Pun intended.
Right, with a name like that, I mean, obviously, it's a bigger distillery using that name, um, but like underneath there, it's a big distillery that kind of owns the rights and does stuff. So I'm not surprised that it's good quality. But when you see that name, you sit there and say, okay, this is one of those, like, again, my wife bought it. I've seen it before. I've almost bought it, but my wife buys things based on the labels and names half the time. If there's nobody around to give her a recommendation, so she kind of saw the name, was like, "That's amazing. I got to buy that for my husband." And this is one of the times where that was a good purchase.
Yeah.
Both bottles were pretty solid for the price point, despite the crazy name, and I could see me buying more in the future.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's definitely. I feel like I'm definitely one person that I buy shit based off of like labels and
Oh yeah,
names. And with the chicken cock one, I probably would have seen it, been like, "What the fuck?" at first, and then
yeah.
seeing it the second time, I would have been like, "I need to try that just because of the name."
Like, it's one of those, when both those bottles are gone, I'll probably buy another something from them, and just
Yeah.
always keep one of their bottles on the shelf, just for the name, just for the, what the hell is that? Like, what the hell is chicken cock?
Mhm.
Like, so I that there'll probably always be some of that floating around the house
Yeah.
on the bar.
Yeah, I feel like pretty much anything that has is like animal related. Thanks to you, I'm probably gonna have here on hand.
I mean,
Chicken cock, whistle pig, buffalo trace.
that whistle pig's pretty money.
You know, I
The new
actually,
pours, or
yeah, I cracked
yeah,
open the rye whiskey.
yeah.
It's not this one. This one's sealed. I actually have another one of these because I'm just. I luckily have them right next to me, but thanks to this guy, wherever he is, right here, I bought 2 bottles of whistle pig so I can get this. Oh wait, there you go.
Yeah.
So they're pour stouts, so or spouts. This one just, I mean, obviously for obvious reasons, it's got
Yeah.
the raised flag on it, and then this guy, he just looks fucking cool. He's
Yeah,
called
yeah,
Uncle
it is.
Ham. He's
I
called
mean,
Uncle Ham.
I need a little Uncle Ham in my life.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this one surprisingly actually was really good. I really enjoyed it. After the podcast, I'm probably gonna drink some of the
There you
rye
go.
whiskey. because it is really, really freaking good. I was surprised I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I think that's actually the first rye whiskey that I actually really enjoyed.
So my problem with Rise is there's a couple I've had, and I don't know that I've had. Actually, no, I take that back. I did have like a special edition rye whiskey with Brandon at number 3 that he had on hand. That's what got me started looking into Whistle Pig, because typically, and like I love my Woodford, but like for me the Woodford rye, it isn't. It's not bad. It's just
Mm-hmm.
not something I can drink neat like I do most whiskeys and bourbons.
Yeah.
It's just that rye spice just kind of throws me a little bit. And
Yeah.
there's Whistle Pig's one of the few that I've had a straight rye whiskey that I'm like, this is actually pretty good. I can drink this,
Yeah. Did
which is a
you?
shame because I like the flavor of rye bread, and stuff like that. There's just something about
Yeah.
that spice in the whiskey, though.
Have you tried this one?
I don't know about that
This
one.
bottle?
I cannot remember what it was I had at Brandon's place,
Oh, okay.
but I know it
I'll
was
bring
Whistle
it.
Pig. Yeah,
I'll bring it next time we do an in person podcast, which could be 2 weeks, maybe
could
two
be.
weeks.
Yeah, the soonest. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'll bring that bottle, the open one, so that you can try it out and drink some. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I actually really enjoyed it. But yeah. And on that note, that's all that we have here for today for you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate every single one of you guys that listen or watch our podcast on Spotify and on YouTube, and that are subscribed to our social medias and our channels. Make sure to savor your brews and hit the road responsibly. Make sure you're not drinking and driving. We definitely don't want anybody to be in that situation. Also, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep up with all of our uploads and make sure you support us. And aside from that, cheers. We'll catch you
Cheers.
guys on the next upload.